Hello, and welcome to Anno 1800, an instant classic in the city builder genre and one of my all time favorite games. We are joined back again in my Let's Play here in the home island of Brettcaster, which is now a fair city. Little recap of what we've done so far is we've reached the Artisan tier. We've claimed 3 islands here in the old world, with this being our newest addition to bring in the furs as well as a bit of grain to supplement what we're doing on the main island here, because we got plenty of those fields. But eventually this island will be a grand cityscape. But before we get into the objectives of what we're going to do right now in this episode, last time we not only claimed our first island in the New World, but we successfully brought back a massive amount of rum production as well as the cotton fabric to complete the production chain for fur coats for the artisans. So everything is going quite well. Send back this skipjack clipper, bring some construction materials here. First thing I want to do in this episode is audit our trade routes. And I know right off the top of my head, we're producing plenty of rum for our home island, but I want to go ahead and add a second ship, and the skipjack, I think, is going to be it. So we'll go into the trade routes, and we will add the skipjack here, and just for fun, add in that 4th slot, which the clipper is able to accommodate. Now, this is going to keep that rum flowing to the main island, and for now, we'll head back to the old world, set our intentions for the remainder of this episode. Simply put, things are going very well. I want to increase our flotilla, the number of trade ships we have going. We'll probably send another 1 or 2 to the New World. But big picture today, scale up population, increase our artisans so that we can unlock the university, which will only require a few hundred more. It's realistically only a few more homes. But I want to start moving the city in this direction so that we have the layout that is more similar to the final form. And in order to do that, it'll require some remodeling to make way for trains. Now, trains are important to providing electricity, which we haven't yet unlocked, but the next stage, once we place down the university, is to upgrade to engineers. And that will be the next big stage of oil and power stations and train railroad. So we'll do some planning and scaling up the population. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So over here, we have great proximity to the marketplace. Add in a few blocks here. Do something like that. Something like this. And like so. Now that used the majority of our remaining timber after we queued up that clipper. Ships take a good amount of timber supply. And so another thing I want to do, let's just double check that. Yeah, 40 timber, is build a depot so we can start accumulating. Maybe we'll build 2. Start accumulating more resources. I know these trade routes starting to drop off and or not be able to drop off their goods for that exact reason. So added in a ton more farmers, and I guess let's start adding in some additional of those base goods for now. So a fishery, start to populate this side of the island with a warehouse. Oh, now we're really out of timber. There we go. We're just on a super slow build pace. That's our issue. All right. And then thinking big picture, while construction materials start to flow, Where do we want the train to go? I kind of have this vision of this entire section of the island being production focused, and then this side being all residential, which will also require power. But I'm thinking about having quite the network of rail to power all these production areas and residential areas. So potentially a central line here, turning there, meeting in the middle, kind of a roundabout intersection, and then continuing up this hill. Big picture idea. If you're enjoying the Let's Play, you're a fan of Anno 1800 or Anno 117 more recently, definitely let me know in the comments. Love to interact with all of you. And really been enjoying this channel. We're in the early days of these Let's Play videos, but it's been a pleasure having your support and interacting with so many of you in the comments. I respond to each and every one. So if you have an idea of a new game you think I might like, or maybe some advice on what you see in this gameplay, please do not hesitate to let me know. All right. That timber's slowly trickling back in. Definitely going to need it because I just massively increased the number of farmers we have. Now over here, this is our third island. Wacky name, but I have planned out these hunting cabins for the fur. And my idea was this will kind of continue down through this thin area between the mountains. This is actually a quite good supply. I may eventually... I was thinking that maybe I would add tractors to this once we got to that stage for DLC. But in second thought, maybe not, because I don't know if I want to import oil here right away. So maybe a long-term vision, but more in the short term, thinking this could be a really great island for just specializing in farmers and those base goods. So really the fisheries, but mostly work clothes. So this could be a fishing, hunting, farming of wheat and sheep for work clothes. Kind of a farmer-focused island, and then the second island will be a workers' utopia with some of the mods I've unlocked to have terraced workers, which I'm really excited to dive into. We should be doing that very soon. So that's really the mission. All right, now that we have a little bit more timber, looks like we're doing good on the fish. Work clothes, it's time to scale this up. Now, in terms of... Ooh, we got a nice little gift there. 200,000 coin. That's looking pretty good. Happy about that. Framework knitters, we're going to need a few more of these. So, the question is, where is this layout going to go? Have this open space here. Definitely considering something special in this place, and framework knitters are not that special. I hate to break it to you. So, I think for now, I'll continue to have this on the main island, but maybe won't last forever. We'll take this warehouse, stick it down here, and then see if we can fit in 2 of these. Just like so. Alright, that looks good for now. And that consumed additional of that wool. Okay. This is good to know. Are any of these sheep farms not powered by a silo? Doesn't look like it. Wow, kind of remarkable that we only have, what is that, 3? Yeah, only 3 of these sheep farms. Let's do one more of those here with a grain mill. Got that ship constructed. Fantastic. Should be able to supply this grain without a worry. This will get us ahead of the game on work clothes, ahead of the game on fish. Schnapps, we're going to need a little bit more. And I think we'll do one more of these for now, but I also want to start shifting this over to that second island. So we will do that. Add the potato farm, add one more of these with a road gap. At least in my mind, this decreases the explosion risk. Fire chance low, and explosion chance very low. Let's see, any others hoping to explode? Not the bakery there. Weapon factory, low explosion risk. Steelworks, very low. Okay, things are looking pretty good in terms of safety. All right. This looks pretty good. Maybe we'll add another warehouse in here. And with this clipper, do I send this right away? Let's see, do we have any spare sewing machines to send to the New World? We do not. We'll hold that in reserve then. And let's see, how's our pacing going in terms of population here? Wow, I was kind of assuming we built so many blocks we would have many more farmers than that. Evidently not really the case. Let's see, prioritization wise, do a couple more workers here. Need that timber to keep on trucking along. These all look like they're 100% for now, which is great. I want to make sure that we're continuing our building momentum, so I'm going to send this over to Archibald, pick up some extra timber. And over here, maybe I start to trade the old schnapps. Wow, not stockpiling any of this. Curious. Classic. No fields. Just a voice line by one of these nice farmers. A farm with no fields. Classic Anno. I'm telling you, this game, likely for the rest of my life, will be seen as an all-time favorite. Not just for me, but for any city builder fan. I don't know how you can skip over Anno 1800 as a all-time great. If not a top 10, easily a top 5. For me, it's without question one of the greatest. All right. Now that timber's starting to build back up, workforce, at least positive. Maybe we'll do a little town square. Little gap here. For something important. Maybe another church. Another public service building. Something like that. Make sure these roads get placed down. Nobody gets unhappy. Not having connection to a marketplace or something else. Go ahead and upgrade all these blueprints. And we're looking good. Let's fill in a bit more. Careful to get too close to the in-between these residential areas to what will eventually be our production and factory. So we'll just keep it there. Another 2x2, 2x3 row of homes. And our clipper has arrived. Pick up some additional. Perfect. Worth the money, for sure. And now, All these base goods should be looking pretty good. I think, yeah, we're maxed out on schnapps, so let's see if we can add this to the trade route. Don't have any right now, but we have the workforce available over here, so let's go ahead and do it. Increase production right away of potatoes and schnapps. Do we have any items on this island? No. Let's double check items over here. Patisserie Patrice. Increase productivity of bakeries by 40%. Increase attractiveness. That's kind of interesting. We have 4 of these. It's not a mega increase, but we do have the room here to add in another trade union. You can do it kind of just as a experiment, I think. Finding out where our trade union is. Yeah, this is really perfect place for it. So let's see, before and after. Don't get too hard on my case about getting distracted from that second island, but if we do that, what's another one here? Steelworks. That's not very useful for us. Alright, now bread. Did make quite an impact. Now flour is going to have a higher demand. So let's go ahead and try to accommodate that. If we minimize this, adding in another mill right there could work. Yeah, it cuts off this bakery, but this is getting things super compact. And I think we'll only need 1. Yes. 1 will work. Perfect. Okay. Well, that was kind of nice. I'm relatively new to utilizing trade unions and town halls. Never have used a harbor master's office before in the many, many years of playing this game. Definitely, to be honest with you, again, I'm a vanilla player. I don't really like to roll the dice on items and specialists and try to over-optimize. I like to build the production chains as intended, advance the monuments, and this is my first time using any mods whatsoever, and going for all 3 monuments, the first one being the World's Fair. So let's get back focused in on increasing the schnapps production. I'll add in another one of these right there, one of these here, and then it'll be time for another warehouse. Do this road, and then potato farms. So they wrap around the production building, like so. And this one. Perfect. And should have the materials to build all this, but not the workforce. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. I think I want to let these people continue to consume the schnapps that they're producing. Do something like this. Continuing our artistic builds. And then leave a little gap there. Very excited to dive into this more urban tier 2 worker residence. Should be lots of fun. New buildings, new needs from a mod. And let's see, how are our base goods doing with all of those advancements? Looks like work clothes are going to need a little bit more love. So we'll increase that and then throw down some additional work clothes. Or, yeah. Not bringing silos here, so this should be no problem. Bada bing, bada boom. Make sure to build the fields. I need a reminder to pop up on those blueprints. Kind of funny. All right. Now, one trick we can use in population, when you put down a bunch of homes and they're not having residents move in right away, but you know they're going to increase to their full occupancy if you have the goods, you can see individually what your total potential is. Problem with this is that even without mods, this accounts for lifestyle needs, which is one of the DLCs. So these are essentially options to make the game more challenging. You can provide soap to farmers, which they normally don't need, and you would get an additional farmer. Not really going to do this, so this menu a couple of years back was more useful when you put down a bunch of residents, but now it doesn't really give you a full picture. At this point, it's like, oh wow, we're at 50% or less efficiency in terms of how many residents are per home, when in fact it's higher than that because 17 is not really the vanilla maximum. Fully happy, full needs met, still 17 total potential. It's a little misleading, but nevertheless, we're back to a positive workforce, but only barely, so let me put down just a few more. Just like this. Put a gap there. And we are away. Back to the home island. Continue that progress. Upgrades. Time to upgrade a lot more artisans. Put down this university. Upgrade not possible. Breaking my heart. Just barely too far away from this marketplace here. Looks like I have all of these roads paved in between, so we won't be able to get this all the way. But you know what? That's okay, because I'm actually going to move all of these, this entire row, in order to eventually put that rail. So, it's alright, we'll move you someplace where you're going to be happier. And more upgrades. Come on now. You don't want to upgrade either? You look like you're in a green living space. Looks like this row is also not very happy. Skid. What island is this? Oh, too close to me, Benty. I don't think that's a good idea. Sorry about that. But this island, there's our home island right here. I can't be allowing that. No way. Alright, more upgrades. Get these workers going. A couple more paved roads. Alright. Now, we did buy that timber. Now is the time. Fuel on the fire. Get some more workers to artisans. And more farmers to workers. Very good. And there, just like that, 150 timber vanished. Now we unlocked the lovely university. Let's see. Now, where could this be? Education, of course. Great radius on this building. Let's place it down right here, next to the theater. I think this is a good idea. Now, relocate these these workers right about there. Wrapping them in a road so they don't get too upset. And blueprint this university right there. And let's, with just a few more bricks, place down that paved road right there. Now we'll need some more bricks, more timber to make that upgrade. But that was a big scale up in our total population. So right here, we now have just about 2,000 artisans, and I think over time they'll start to move in. Now with all those upgrades, got to check our production chains. Base goods, all set. Sausages need some love. Bread with that specialist, we're looking good. Soap overproducing. Beer is going to need some upgrades eventually, and we're finally ready to build that second cannery. Ooh, wow. Lots of great upgrades are needed. Fur coats. Okay, we'll need to increase that cotton fabric supply eventually, as well as the fur we're importing here in the old world. But I think priorities are, let's get some more sausages. Make sure our pigs are well produced. Looks like we're set there, so that should be easy, but I want to double check the silos. I feel like I've done that a few times, but need to do it again. And beer maybe isn't the top priority. Let's focus on these two. Canned food and this sewing machine factory. Now over here, got a couple pig farms. This one has a silo. This one has a silo. This one does as well. Okay, so we're set on that front. Just need one more sausage factory or slaughterhouse. Should this worker live here? I don't know. Think your time has come to move away from the slaughterhouses. Thank me later. Let's do this. Alright, that should be enough to get us positive. And canned goods. We'll go ahead, throw down the second cannery. Got the workforce for it on the artisans, no problem. And in terms of the base goods, ooh, we're going to need some more. For sure. Intermediary goods, beef as well. Okay, we do not have a stockpile at all. We were running this tight. So, we have this prepared for us. But now we need the bricks. Okay, okay. Not to worry. We got cash, 250,000 coin. Run over for a couple construction materials. And let's continue with the naval forces. Add another frigate here. It's expensive on the timber. I know we need that, but want to maintain the growth of that navy. Right. Things are going well. Wow. Mega population boom over here. How about on the third island? Looking quite nice. Grain is flowing. Maybe I can build another hunting cabin, because we'll need to scale up the fur coat production soon enough. Yeah, let's do one more, so we'll be able to provide for that. Less attractive. Wow, you don't like having the hunting cabins. Disappointing. Alright, need consumption increased by 10%. We will allow it. No riots, everybody's happy. It's fine, you can have 10% more goods. It's okay with me. And what's this quest here? A puzzle quest. We can find husbands right there. In my personal life, I'll be getting married later this month, so pretty exciting. Soon to be a husband, taking the next chapter in my life. this husband's all around town. We're having to chase him. All right. How passionate and inspiring. Yes, I shall give this one a chance for now. Okay, great, great, great. Things are okay. Wow, lots to say. Happy to help, but we got more to do. Some more construction materials. Bring it on home. I'm glad you valued the trade. Maybe we should trade with some of our other trade right partners. Those Benti. Kind of just need construction materials right now. Diplomacy-wise, check in on Arthur. Flatter the... Oh my gosh. Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. How about flattery with a gift? Okay, well, we're down. Non-aggression pact, not gonna work. Flatter the pirate didn't work. Alright, here's some cash. Could we get a peace treaty? Not yet. Flatter. I'm happy to throw some coin around. We got it right now. Things are going well. Balance almost plus 6,000. Things are going good. Alright. Got that frigate. Fantastic. Military strength is definitely going to keep us in a positive position diplomatically. Might be time for another ship of the line as well. Third one of those, and that'll be good progress this episode. Get the cattle farm down with the butchery we've added through modification. We got a lot of silos going now. This one also. Okay. You need 80,000 coin? You got it. Now we're demanding quite a bit of grain, but we're importing it from that third island, so it should all be balanced out. In terms of cattle, lower than I expected, especially with these silos built. We'll see how that comes up to speed. Get that other artisanal kitchen. The artisans working over here. Then we should be in a... Ooh, need another one. Okay. Well, I'm happy to bring that over here. And what we can do... Shift this over a little bit. I think this is doable. Maybe not. Let's see. Bring this over here. See about squeezing this. Gonna need to maintain some road connection here. Oh, did not mean to delete that. Danger. Alright, we'll put in the silo. And then I'll have to take this road out. Should not be a problem. I think with the silos though, should be able to be okay on cattle. Check our production screen. Okay, beef set. Okay, yeah, overproducing on that front. So I think I can place down one more butcher. Let's see about rotating that. Squeezing this in there. Connecting a road there so that feeds in nicely. Very good. How about pop this out here so that it can reach this cattle farm as well. Okay. Now, looking much better on that. Beef is now good in terms of demand, so we're going to add another artisanal kitchen right here. Time for bricks. have to have that excess of cash to keep those construction materials flowing. More workers with that timber and brick. All right, now the question is, probably gonna need some additional red pepper. Yes. Okay, what other islands have red pepper? This one does. Think time to invest. Carry that over this direction. All right. Need some more of the old hops. So let's do this planning here. Do this. Don't need this. Place this field like so. Then, I guess this will be a hops area. This will be our factories and mining. I think I could take this. How about over here? Kind of section this off. Can use these edges. All right, let's see. How much can we fit in here? Quite a bit. All right. Fit another one there. Warehouse just like that. How's that fit in? Pretty well. Let's see if we can get a few more fields in there to full efficiency. Great. We won't be absolutely perfecting the pixel placement, but we can try to at least make it look nice. That's the real goal. All right. Take advantage of these funny edges. All right, and then it's time for another clipper, I think. And we'll add this trade route to consolidate all of the goods that we are producing over on this island. So we'll bring the hops, we'll bring some schnapps, we'll bring some peppers. Could probably make that into a song. And delete this route. And the Olympia frigate, you will guard this clipper. And we'll hold this schooner in reserve for now, just in case we need a last minute trip. Ooh, I hear a little bit of music for a plague, so we're just going to mobilize the doctors. Yes, right over here. Go get them. But in happier news, let's build that university. How does that look? City's really coming together on the artisan side of things. Love the red roofs, the brick. Honestly, once we get to this level in the game, things get really beautiful. You have complexity, you have depth in these buildings. I love it. University, major milestone. Next major building, likely going to be, what, the World's Fair? We'll probably need some sort of building for the engineers, but this is a pretty large one. Relative to anything we've built so far, definitely the largest footprint of any. Looking good. All right. Now, made some big upgrades to canned food. If we look at the production chains, we're now overproducing on red peppers, which is fine. Very cheap, low workforce need. Cattle, same story. Beef, perfectly even. The goulash, what goes into the canned food, looks good. Our supply is greater than our demand, only barely though. And then canned food, looking pretty good. Let's see. Have that second one. Let's go ahead and pave these roads heading over to this area. 15 brick, we'll do it. Save that for now. It's looking pretty good over here. Now, last thing we want to do is to be mindful of these sewing machines. So, over demanding on the steel, underproducing. So, should have the excess iron to drop down another one of these furnaces. However, gonna need some additional coal. So, let's do this. Maybe closer. Let's do that. And then, do we have another coal mine available? We do. Let's do it. We have the workforce. This is connected nicely. Excellent. So how is this brewer decreasing workforce? Not incredibly efficient, I have to say. We'll take it for now. Okay. So we got the coal. We got the furnace. That might just be enough to bring us even. Oh, a little bit more than even. So if we put down this second sewing machine factory, that does increase the demand. So we'll do one more of these. Wow, that's a lot. 5 furnaces. Really cooking now. And that's going to require some more iron. Let's see. Do we have any specialists in the works here? Steelworks, just decreasing the maintenance cost, not very exciting. Let's quickly go over to Eli. See what he's got in this area. Okay, iron mines, increase productivity. That's not bad. Let's send the flagship over, see if we can snag this. Don't see a timer for when these will refresh, so hopefully they don't. But sounds like a great opportunity. Ooh, we can do an escort quest. We have a mighty navy. Keep the clipper back. And it's not even too far. Perfect. Do that for diplomacy. And everything else looking quite good. Have excess of 1,000 artisans ready for that engineer phase. What are you guys lacking? Looks like we're going to need a few more sewing machines, but don't worry, we are on top of it. Yep, everything is looking good. Just going to need a bit more iron. Do we have one more? Got one there. One here. Ooh. Now this is inaccessible. What a rookie move. Take this grain farm out. But let's see. Well, you know what? Probably going to want to do that eventually anyway. So let's do this. Barely have the workforce required. Oh no, we failed this quest. I was working on the husband. Looked like I did everything I needed to. My apologies. Well, let's pave some of these roads here. This makes things look a lot better. Begin the escort. Perfect. This will increase the cart speed. Also make things look a lot better. All right. Now, we should be looking pretty good on iron. Okay, so this guy, let's see about that. Navy goods consumption. Interesting. So the Fool decreases the need, or it completely eliminates the Variety Theater. Not bad. School. 10% efficiency. We don't need that. Steelworks, iron mines, furnaces plus 20%. Let's buy that for sure. I think we can integrate that very well into this island. Putting in this trade union over here. That's a pretty great spot. So let's do this. And then services, city, trade union, right about here. I think we can get rid of this road. No worries. Reconnect. Sure, why not? Little extra coin. Now, how's our quest going? Perfect. Call it a success. Pick up. All right. Send the Navy to go get her. Flagship. Almost returned. All right. Really great progress. Let's try fit in the beginnings of the railway. Don't know if I'm ready to make the big shift in between this. Won't be too difficult, but it'll require some adjustments in the grain, which I'm just nervous to do. How much are we overproducing on the grain? Not much at all. So let's, in order to get ahead of that, build a few more of these grain farms. Make sure my fields are actually built. Drop off this nice fella. Plop him into the trade union. Well, let's see, before and after. How are things looking? So, should increase our iron. Furnaces as well. So right now they're producing 8 and 3 on the steel. Let's see. Great coverage. Nice. 2 extra tons. Kind of liking the occasional. Not... Didn't increase by a ton, but should be all good. How's the fire safety around here? Heavy industry. Very high illness chance. Be kind of random to put a hospital over here. Heavy industry. Well, kind of risk it for now. Alright, the Navy is here to pick you up. Let's see. We're ready to get you. Hot couture models. With quite the firepower to pick them up. Just watching historical show recently and learned that these ship of the lines, historically in the 1800s in England, had 500 to over 800 men on them. So massive scale in terms of workforce. Okay, what do we need to do here? Okay, so if I click one of these ships, oh, there we go. Pick them up directly. Reminds me of land units. 117. All right, we got them. Deliver them back. Bring the ship of the line as well. Great quest. All right. Now, with our production up and running, should be ready to roll. What do you mean our reputation has decreased? Doing a quest for you right now. That is outrageous. Okay. Also might be time to increase the beer production a little bit. Wow, not very positive at all. Bread shortage in the second island, not yet supplying it there. This mechanic does keep us accountable. Should be okay. At least for a short time. Yeah, I think it's going to be a next goal into these engineers is to increase the organization of beer and bread, because I've kind of started to shift away the grain, but we're now kind of fully needing to import this, I think. All right, hand in the quest, plus 8 reputation, fantastic, very much worthwhile. Where's our mighty navy? Very good. Well, let's double check our, no, not the production screen. I'm obsessed. How our, yeah, let's do trade rights after that quest. That's worthwhile. This is the episode of peace. Get you a bit of coin as well. Get you some coin. Okay, I give you a bribe and you just ask for more? How rude. Alright, you accepted the gift. That's great. But you will not have a peace treaty with me. That's alright. We'll flatter our allies. Keep them happy. Very easy. Diplomacy. And Anno, easy. And this Let's Play on these difficulties, not our main concern. But let's go ahead and finally make the upgrade to engineers. We'll do it right around the university if we can. Boom. Very nice. Science and wonder, a new age in this Let's Play. Got some new needs unlocked, starting with the spectacles. But before anything else, a new construction material, the reinforced concrete. So we'll likely start with that in the next episode. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to leave a comment if you're enjoying the series so far. And I really appreciate you watching, sticking with me. Peace.